behind hiddenjewels.wordpress.com, and I am going to make you a video today of something I never dreamed I would be doing or know anything about, but we're going to make full therapeutic dose THC RSO suppositories. I was having a great life, 41 years old, finally getting to pursue some dreams that I had, and I was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer known as ambulary cancer, and it is so rare that you don't even really have a category for it. They kind of just treat it the way they do pancreatic cancer. It's the closest thing they can do, and I was rushed into emergency surgery, and actually it wasn't emergency surgery, rushed into life-saving surgery, and had a Whipple procedure done on June 2nd of 2020, and that totally screwed up my insides, and I've been really struggling with malnutrition, malabsorption for a while now, dropping weight. Got down to 92 pounds from 155, and we decided we got to start trying to do this a different way. So if you've dabbled with RSO at all, whether it's higher in the CBD end or in the THC end, it is nasty. And what you have to do is you have to start out with a very small dose. You want half a grain of rice, if you can even figure out how much that is. And you double it every 4 days until you get to 30 drops, 30 grains of rice. And that's a gram. And it just got disgusting. I couldn't put it on a toothpick. I couldn't put it in my mouth in that amount. And due to the Whipple procedure, my body is not absorbing things. It's not things that have to be digested are not staying in my system long enough for my body to recover any nutrients from it. And so we decided we had to go the suppository route. And when I started researching it, there's a lot of weird videos out there, and surely I'm the most normal mom looking person you've seen on YouTube doing this and demonstrating this. But when I started looking for help on how to do this, there weren't any, everybody was just doing tiny bits of THC. They weren't doing a full therapeutic dose, and it's very different, and I have to have 30 drops in each dosage of this. And so I'm very particular. I'm a perfectionist, and I just had to do it my own way, and I've made some mistakes that I want to help you guys I want to prevent you guys from doing, because this stuff is expensive. So my daughter Grace is going to help me. What I have, you get your RSO from a dispensary. This is a huge amount of it. It's very, very, very sticky. It's like tar. It's very gummy. And I actually had to get my husband to squeeze some out for me in a jar like this, just so that I can heat this to be able to handle it. We want this to be the consistency of like a warm honey, to be able to work with it. And so I've got my kettle here. We're going to put it on the stove. You guys are in my little home away from home. This is my favorite place. This is a little commercial kitchen that we put together. Before the diagnosis, I did a gourmet cheesecake product, and this is my cheesecake kitchen. And we're just gonna warm up some normal water, and we're gonna put it in a glass full like this, and then we're gonna sit this down in there for it's usually a good 20-25 minutes to get this warm enough to work with it. And so we'll come back to that in a minute. But what we're going to be doing today, I've done two different things. This is a suppository mold, and I'll leave the link to it down in the description box for you. This is one I bought off of Amazon. It had great reviews. It was pricey compared to other ones, but I just wanted to go with the one that I felt would work best for me. They're very small. They're very comfortable. They're bullet shaped with no rough edges or anything like that. However, full dose doesn't fit in here. I can get 30 drops in here, but they stick to the sides, and so there's a trick to that. I would have to take 2 of these, either one in the morning and one in the evening, or stack 2 to be able to get my full therapeutic dose, the gram a day of the RSO. This RSO has it has more THC in it. I've had some in the past that had more CBD in it. One of the great things, one of my greatest fears, and one of my hugest reservations in not wanting to do this, coming from the South. I was born and raised in Texas, and there's a huge stigma that comes along with this. You know, you grow up in the chicken club, and you learn your whole growing up, you know, elementary years, say no to drugs, and marijuana's a drug and all of that, and I just really didn't want any part of it. I didn't want my kids thinking I abused this in any way. I just really was fearful of it, and just had to kind of get past that stigma when you start learning about it and researching it, and how the body has a system in place where this works, and just see the evidence, the science behind it, the tumors, the stage 3 and stage 4 people who are being healed from using THC medicinally. I had to get past that stigma, and we had to talk to the kids about drugs and how serious they are, but how we can also, anything taken out of moderation, you know, can be big trouble for our bodies. And this is something that is healing and can be used for good. So anyway, we should be getting to boiling back here. But a little more on my kettle. So we have that, suppositories. Another option that we're going to look at probably on this video is making capsules. These can be swallowed, and in my case, I don't absorb things that I swallow, so I have to do these as a suppository as well. But I'll leave the link down for you in the description box. These are vegetarian capsules. They're the largest size. They're a 000. And I have this little capsule loader, which is so easy to use. And I find this a much, it works. It works well. I can fit all of the medication in there, and that's another route to take them. If you do want to use this in suppository format, you will need to grease it down with some coconut oil. It is not pleasant trying to put one of these in if it doesn't have something to smooth that process out for you. When you make it using the cacao butter wafers, it's already smooth, and so you don't have to worry about any lubricant. But yes, if you want to do the capsules. So my hot water is ready. So we're just going to take some and fill this bowl to where it will not come into my jar, but just get that really hot so that we can work with this really thick RSO. And we'll just leave this here for a bit. You can see when it starts getting easy to move. good thing to always keep on hand while you're working with RSO of any type, of any formulation, is alcohol or hand sanitizer. It is the only thing that gets it off. It sticks to everything. It stinks. It's just really strong, really sticky, and it gets on your hands. And I have to work with this a lot just to clean up my mess after the fact. So, trying to think. I've never made a YouTube video, and I don't want to forget. When I ordered this particular suppository set, it did come with some little pipettes to use, so that was appreciated. One of the negative things about these little things is they're not all one piece, so the little caps that you remove them with, these tend to get lost easily. I have read reviews though that the company is very good about replacing them. I have lost a few already. You get 4 of these, so you can make 24 suppositories at a time. Freeze them, pop them out, and start over. But I've lost a few of my caps, so I will only be demonstrating which is this one. Give you an idea of what we're doing. I'll take my pipette. Actually getting pretty good movement in there. If you can see, it's starting to thin to where you can work with it. This is really, really good because it is some thick stuff. Okay, so I am going to start with a pan. This is a new pan that I got. This is a clean brand. It's called Green Pan, and I love these pans. They're ceramic on the inside. They're non-stick. Don't have all the chemicals and things. And if I'm going to be putting this in my body, I definitely don't want to be adding to it any problems with my cookware. I'm going to start with this. I have here some cacao butter wafers, cocoa butter, however you want to say that. I ordered these on Amazon. I'm a researcher and I look at the reviews, and I actually decided these were a little more expensive than just buying it in these random shapes. But I wanted to be very precise. I'm very particular about what goes into my body, and I was super nervous just about the THC. I think what I was going to tell you, one of the reasons I ended up going this route is everything I read was that there is no head high when you use THC in a suppository, and that was something I was very concerned about. Having children, teenagers, I did not, I was worried. I didn't want them to see mom in any different state than normal. I didn't want them to think I was crazy or, you know, just messed up. I just was very worried about that. And so, for me personally, I'm at the full gram a day. I have never had any reaction, any high, any feeling like that. I will say that everybody reacts differently to this. Other people I know have gotten high, they've taken too much, they didn't do their dosing in slowly and in a way that is safe. But as far as things, I have never been more normal. I have never experienced anything crazy, which is awesome. It's been a huge blessing because I want to spend every moment I have with my children. I want to be in my right mind, and so that's another really awesome thing about doing it this way. You can function like normal, and so these I thought would be a little more accurate in the dosing. And so what I found is that one of these little wafers, when you melt it, it gives you right at about 100 drops of liquid out of these little standard size pipettes. And so if I'm going to make 6 of these little suppositories at a time, which typically you'd make more just for the convenience of getting them all done, but just showing you guys for the sake of time, I'm just going to take 3 of these. So that'll give me 300 drops of cocoa butter. And I'm just going to melt them over here on low. They melt super fast. The last time I made these, I tried to put so much THC into the suppository with just a little bit of cacao butter that would fit, that they wouldn't pop out of the molds. They stuck, and then they get all over your hands and they start melting, and then you're sticky and tarry, and you have to spray down with alcohol or hand sanitizer, and so it just didn't work. And so I decided, for me, I have 2 options. I can buy a bigger suppository, which when I saw them online, they looked really big and they were a little overwhelming. And so I thought, well, I'll just divide mine into 2 portions, and I'll take one in the morning and one in the evening. So I'll actually only be having 16 drops in each of mine. And that seems to work out much better than trying to get the full 30 drops in this small of a suppository. If you don't have a problem putting a bigger one in, they sell a bigger one online. I can put that link in the description box as well. I probably will get it. It seems easy, and it seems like it's pain-free and it works pretty smoothly as well. I just, starting out this whole suppository world, I am super modest. I just don't like anything bathroom related, and I wanted to start with small. But we'll need this, and we will actually be dripping our drops of the heated THC in along with this. So I did a little math. Like I said, I don't have any idea what the guy who made this syringe for me, I don't know the measurements, and so I just like to do exactly what my little chart that he taught me to do says, and go by drops. And I know a lot of people will just squeeze a ton in there. I've seen some videos. I'm just uncomfortable not knowing the exact amount that is in each one of my suppositories. So we're going to do the 3 cocoa butter wafers, and that would be the 300 drops of cacao, and then I need 96 drops of my RSO to offset those 3. So I'm going to start counting. You can just follow me when I get to the end of that 96 drops, and then we'll move on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 36, 37, 38. That does stink. 94, 95, ooh, 96. Okay, and then we're going to mix these together and see. You can see that cacao really makes the THC easier to work with, because, or the RSO was so thick. This gives us much easier to work with. And I'm just going to let this cool because we don't want it to melt our little suppository mold. So this will be cooling. Again, I never dreamed that I would be doing this. It's funny how things change in life when one of the only things that can help you is been something you've always been steered away from and told was bad and was unsafe and unhealthy. And I keep a blog of our cancer journey. I believe with my whole heart that cancer does not have to be a death sentence. It can be a life sentence. Finding that out as I go, it's been very difficult, but there is good that can come out of it, and so I'm going to be open to things I've never been open to before. I've always been a rule follower. Just tell me what to do, I'll do the right thing. And so I've really had to be open to some things that I'm not used to. So now that these two have mixed, I don't want them to melt my mold, but they're starting to firm up again. So I do want to go ahead and start working over here with my mold. You can hear my hot water is ready. Just a second here. I'm going to replace this hot water so that I can work with this some more. That's warming up. I'm going to go ahead and fill my suppository molds. So we just take this little pipette. It's coming up super easy because it's been thinned out. And I'm just going to squeeze it down in to each one. These, remember, will only have 16 of my drops. I want to get to 30 drops a day. So I'd have to do 2 of these per day, or I would buy a bigger mold if I was comfortable with that. And normally you'd be making much more than 6 at a time, so you have a lot more product to work with. But once you finish that, you're going to just set this in the freezer a couple hours. It sets. Okay, now if we're going to be doing the capsules, they're a little different. Each of these capsules in the size 000 can hold 50 drops of liquid. They have a little short top piece. The bottom is much longer. And what you do, you store the little top there. It's where you can recap it once you've got your product in here. These, of course, can hold powder, essential oils, and all kinds of things that you want to make for a suppository, or you can swallow things down. I actually put liquid vitamins in here earlier because they taste so gross. I didn't want to have to bear swallowing it, but it actually ended up being a lot of vitamins. It was a lot more than I thought that I would have to take. Okay, so we just set this little thing up to do the capsules. I need each capsule that I insert to have 30 full drops so that I can have the full therapeutic dose. If they hold 50 drops of liquid, then it's just a matter of 20 drops of cocoa butter for each capsule. And so I'm going to take 180 drops of RSO with 120 drops of cocoa butter, which is 1 1/4 of the butter wafers. I'm going to do that. There's my 1. There's a 1/4. Let me break pretty decently. And I'm going to melt that while we do 180 drops of the RSO. No big deal, just count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 21, and that's not the big one. 9, 40, 41, 42, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6. This is a little more time consuming than most people probably would like to deal with, but I just like to be really sure about what's going in. 68, we're gonna make it. One, two. Really getting difficult to work with again. To keep heating it up. That's it. And as you can see, just a looser, more liquid version so that I can work with it easy. Fill the capsules. These capsules, we're going to do the same thing and just fill them up as high as they will go. Oh. You want to try not to do what I just did. If you drip in there, that liquid gets on the outside of the capsule and kind of starts degrading it or whatever. And then sometimes your temperature of your mixture here can be too hot, and it can kind of start, the capsules will start shriveling up as well. Now remember, these will be the full dosage, so I just have to take one capsule to get my whole dosage of these. And I'm actually thinking about swallowing these to see if I'm getting any better absorption. They say that suppositories are much more bioavailable than just over something that you're taking orally. I want to get, this stuff's expensive, I want to get a maximum bang for my buck. So I want to absorb as much as possible of this product and not have it be wasting. These, I have read that you can just store them in the normal bottle. I am going to actually freeze them as well, just to minimize any risk. So you just push the little cap on top and you're done. And they can be taken out immediately. This one probably needs to because I dripped some in there. And you can just load up to make some more. That's another one I had dripped a little, so you can see it's on there. So I'm going to put these in a Ziploc in the freezer, and I'll store them that way until I use them. Now I want you to see, of course this has been diluted with the oil, the cacao butter wafers, but so it's not nearly as a mess, but it's just the hand sanitizer. It really helps to bring that stickiness off. And that is how we do it. If you guys have any questions, we will be starting a channel. We'll be answering questions. We'll be reviewing different products and food and makeup and different things, supplements and things for those who are facing this cancer battle as well. Feel free to ask any questions or let me know anything that I can add to these videos in the future that would be helpful to you guys. And I wish you well. I hope that this works for you.